Okay, now I have to come to... Yeah. Okay, and we are now live on Instagram. So welcome everybody to our last last episode of the Meet the Scientist Q&A of this series. I'm happy to introduce Marco, who's joining us for this one. Hi, Marco.
Hello.
So I will leave the floor to Marco, but just before I do so, I just wanted to give you guys all a quick reminder about our Into the Deep Marine Citizen Science seminar webinar that's going to be on Friday from 10 to 12 Central European Time. So that's this coming Friday, the 27th of September. And you can make sure you register to that. Just look on our website or on our social media pages. And as always, these videos are recorded, so welcome to anybody who is joining the recording. And yes, let's leave the stage to you, Marco, and hear about the research.
Okay, thank you so much, Caroline. And hi, everyone. I'm Marco, and I did my PhD at the Polytechnic University of Catalonia, that it's close to Barcelona, a campus close to Barcelona in a city called Vilanova i la Geltrú. And why I did my PhD there, like in a small city, because there is an observatory that it's equipped with cameras and environmental sensor to study the local fish community. So with cameras, we count the individuals of different species and everything, and then with environmental sensor and statistic, we try to relate the environmental variables with the counts. And actually, I'm from Italy, and I ended up here in Catalonia, in Spain, because of I did an Erasmus in Barcelona, and then I met people from here and everything. So my work in general, what I did, it was really exciting for me, because I always wanted to do something useful also for the society. For example, studying the fish community, it's really useful, for example, for the fishermen, the fishery management, and everything. And there is also another part that the UPC, the observatory, with the data from the observatory that I did my PhD, are inside an European framework called EMSO, European Multidisciplinary Seafloor and Water Column Observatories. And it also, my project also involved the politic part, let's say. So there is a question: what do you think the best part about incorporating citizen science into your research is? So this was actually my first project where I'm involved with citizen science. And well, it was all new for me, and it was really exciting, like talking with citizens, also see their perspective, their ideas, that some of them were really, like, I never thought about, like, for example, from yesterday we did an event for the citizen science here in Villanova, and some of them were artists, so I never thought that art could go with science. And yes, it came up like really good ideas. And also, like, in general, how to reach the people, because science, many times we do like research, but like in difficult terms. Also, when I developed the courses or in this in this project, like sometimes I used like words that are not so easy for the public. So there is another question. What exactly do you use the image data for? I use the data image just to have like time series of counts of different species. In my case, they are fishes, but it could be everything, really. And with this time series, I could relate them, as I said, to environmental variables and try to explain how climate change or predict, but predicting is quite risky. Like there is, and like explain and predict how the climate change could affect the local fish community in the UPC. Because actually we have only one observatory, we don't have like many cameras. We have just one point in the space. So there is another question. What is a cabled observatory? Is this unique to the Catalan Sea? So a cabled observatory, it's practically a laboratory underwater, and that it's composed with cameras and, as I said, environmental sensor, like for example, to measure temperature, salinity, pH, and many others parameters. And is this unique to the Catalan Sea? Actually not. There is another observatory in the Balearic Island, here in Catalonia, but there are no other observatory around Spain than these ones. So we are collaborating a lot also with the Balearic Island people to implement this. Another question, what made you decide to be a marine researcher? So in my case, like since I was a kid, thank you to my grandfather, I was introduced to science, like always. I always liked nature and science and everything, thanks to him. And why marine biology, why marine research, is because I was born in a city in front of the sea. Actually, during my studies, I was a little bit it's the right way to go for marine science or not, but at the end, I just went for it, and all came up well, I think. And yes, like also because the sea, it's quite, it's not like the terrestrial ecosystem. Like it's difficult to reach, it's difficult to study because like collaborating also with engineers, they always say to me that instruments underwater are really difficult to to maintain because of the salinity of the salt that corrodes the instruments, and also because of the water. Like the instruments have to be really isolated because if water comes in, it's a problem. Like the instruments breaks and everything. Another question. What is the most difficult thing about communicating your science? So, in general, I felt like quite good to communicate. Also, people were really listening. The only problematic actually were with kids or young people that they distract a lot, like many times, and to keep their attention, it was difficult for me. Like I never did something like that, and also, as I said before, from ideas from adults, other citizen science adults, also teachers and everything, they gave me some ideas how to attract young people attention, like with games or I don't know, like interacted with them with illustration videos, like attract their attention with these tools. And I don't know. Like also, yes, but in general was really nice to work with people also when the kids or young people, some of them were interested about marine science, how fish behave in a real environment context, and seeing the videos from the UPC on live cameras and everything was nice, nice experience. So another question. Have you thought about incorporating AI to help you identify the different fishes? So actually, I'm not on it, but there are two people at UPC, two people that are developing an AI to identify and classify species automatically to automatically detect and produce the time series that I told you about before. And this is a really useful thing because to manually, like during my PhD, I manually, not with the help of artificial intelligence, I manually analyzed the images and it took a lot of time, like 1 year, something like that. And with the help of artificial intelligence, I saw that like I tried to work with their with their help, with the help of AI, and it was really like faster to analyze all the photos and everything. And yes, I think it's really useful. And inside it, like in general, I didn't say before, but artificial intelligence is really a part of this project because citizen science help like the technician to develop this type of tools, creating labels on images. So another question. So what would you say is the most interesting part of your job? The most interesting part is I really like the behavioral studies, like how animals, marine animals, interact also with the machine at the end, because placing a machine is an artificial things and they don't know what is it and everything. And well, with fixed things like fixed cameras, they interact with the cameras but not out. They interact more with the structure, like they hide inside the structure of the observatory and everything. I did other studies during my master with mobile cameras, and but this in deeper waters, like in the Gulf of Cadiz, like from 200 meters and below. And there were a lot of, it was fun to see how, like, for example, many crustaceans, like in general, shrimps or crabs, they interact with the machine, like trying to attack it. Like they are so small in compared to the machine, but they try to attack to defend themselves or their environment where they live. And instead, the fishes, they are always avoiding these machines. So another question: do you go diving a lot? If so, what was your most memorable moment? So unfortunately, I am a marine biologist. I would really love to dive, but I had like when I was young, like when I was 17, something like this, I had a pneumothorax. I tried to do exams or try to see if I can do operation to go diving, and it's quite risky for me. But I would really love to dive. I don't dive a lot. I don't dive, but yes, I snorkel. I do snorkeling, and it's the most memorable moment doing snorkeling. Like for example, when I went to Sicily for vacation, was to see how some type of fish that I also detected with the UPC cameras, because in general the Mediterranean, the fishes in the coastal areas are more or less the same. Some of them that like were attracted by me, like they were curious about me in the water, and they were like approaching me, not avoiding me. So it was really nice to see how fish also interact with humans. Most. So another question: do you have a favorite fish species and why? So it's not a fish. my my favorite marine species like is the octopus because it's like, let's say, not evolved for the taxonomical point of view. It's not an evolved organism because it's an invertebrate. So it's not like mammals or others. And it's really intelligent. Like it can behave a lot. Like, for example, also from the videos that I said to you from the Gulf of Cadiz, I saw how octopus from deep sea they interact with the machine and they change color and they try to avoid, then try to study the machine and what is it like. This seems really human, like also in these type of things. And yes. Another question: what advice would you give to a person who is thinking about entering the marine science field? So an advice is to have a lot of passion for it, because at the end, what I found, it's not like engineering or medical science that you can find a job also easily, find a job easily also outside research. So for marine scientists, we can have private jobs, but most of the opportunities are in research. And like, try not to be stressed about the work, because sometimes it's really hard. Like, you have to work also outside, like during weekends, to prepare a presentation or finish a work that you didn't finish before, and keep the passion for the things, for the marine environment and everything. So another question: you seem to work with technology a lot. Do you also develop things yourself? So I work with technology, not because I'm not an engineer. I'm a marine biologist. I never developed anything about technology, but working with engineers, I know like the pros and cons, like the advantages and disadvantages of. I studied them. Like, I studied how different type of technology can be used for different type of studies. So in this multidisciplinary environment, I really like the multidisciplinary environment, because collaboration between engineers and marine scientists is it will be the future at the end, because because technology is developing a lot, and marine scientists give the application for the engineers to develop new technologies and everything. I tried like working with them. I started like also using Python, never used Python, because during university we always used another software. So also, well, something on Python, like Python codes I developed, but small things. So what are the next steps for you? Any interesting project? So the next steps for me right now, it's like, I'm interested. I always worked with cameras. I will be like, I would like to work also with other type of data, like, for example, now we have some project with the use of marine species sounds, like know the presence or absence of different species on the sounds that they make. Like, these sounds are received by anhydrophones in general. and also with other type of sensor or other type of methodology like studying DNA in the environment and others. An interesting project, yes, like we are in many projects also with other European countries, and it's really nice to work with these projects, like people also from other observatories and everything. Okay, they say to me that this was the last question, so well, I
Hi.
think that.
Sorry,
Hello, Caroline.
I
Don't
popped in
worry.
there a little bit too early. Sorry.
Don't worry, not a problem.
Well, thank you so much, Marco. Yeah, that was the last question that we had for today.
Okay.
And it was really interesting to hear all of your answers to the questions and everything. I just want to reiterate for anybody who, if you're watching this again, thanks for or if you're watching the recording of this, thank you for watching. And again, hopefully we'll see you guys on Friday for our Marine Citizen Science webinar. And if you have any questions for Marco, any further questions for Marco, you can always get in touch with us and we can put you also in touch with Marco.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Thank you so much.
And
thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.